And I'd love to get Steven's thoughts about what's going on with Delta Airlines because we've been trading it mainly as premium trading, selling premium against this because it's kind of been in sideways channel. Now, are you sharing your screen on Delta Airlines as well, Steven?
Yes, I can.
All right,
Yep.
so we'll switch over to Steven. Give us your thoughts. How are you looking at this?
I'm really looking at it from a longer term view, and this is the daily chart. You have a pretty ugly down channel. Whoops, that didn't. Let me kind of clean that. And then you have a breakout. It's just not where. There you go. So I'm looking at this from a couple angles. Like you said, the mask mandate got killed. A lot of stocks started popping, but in addition, Delta also reported earnings last week with an earnings beat, and there's a lot of good looking volume in here. Now, so what I'm looking at this is you have a breakout. You have a breakout of this long downtrend that goes back 12 months. So I would say that's a legit breakout. And it's breaking above these key pivots right here. The market pressure could pull it back into this zone, but I think that's a good zone to look at, right? Kind of pull back and test the trend line because you don't want to buy the initial breakout. You want to buy the retest. And I think the market pressure could pull it back in. So when the market's coming under pressure, I always say, what is bucking the trend? That's the first question I ask myself. The market's down, what's up? Delta has absolutely bucked the trend. It has an earnings beat. It has a 12-month breakout. There's a lot of stuff to like here. So, I mean, that's where I'm coming from. And I like long-term breakouts, and I especially like breakouts on earnings, in a challenging environment. It's just, it seems to be setting up pretty nicely.
Yeah, nicely for what kind of trade? What are you thinking? So, uh,
Yes.
shorting it, going long?
I probably in the very short term, like if you want to play like a 1 week option, right? We'll just talk options. You could probably, sell a put or buy a put because it's likely to retest this 42 to 40 zone. But if it gets back into this 42-40 zone, and it's okay if it pulls under the trend line a little bit, but you got that 200-day moving average right there. So if it pulls back right there, I would expect it to find support in as long as the market just isn't really getting hit hard. I think that's a good place to just buy.
Right on. So I would agree. In fact, probably sort of lagging indicator per se that would tell us whether or not it's finding a top or whether to go through. So let's not shoot until we see the right whites of their eyes. It is moving up, it's breaking higher, but yeah, there's this level right here. And so we should be thinking of different ways to play that. So not currently in Delta, and what's nice about Delta as well is its price point and its liquidity in the option chain. So there's a lot of liquidity in the option chain. You don't have to worry about, am I going to be stuck being the only buyer or seller when I really need to, make a trade on this? So that's a kind of a pro on Delta. And then also it's affordable. So if you want to leverage this, I mean, you could totally short the stock or go long the stock, depending on, again, this level at about $44 and, whether or not we want to look for some sort of confirming indicator, whether it's going to go down or up. But you could also leverage a deep in the money call or put. And I'd probably go a little bit far out in time because if you come down, for instance, if we go ahead and short this position with a deep in the money put, the scoop is that if it stays within, say, for instance, coming down and staying within $32 or higher range, then instead of just selling that put, why don't we then instead sell a front month put? Sell something that's going to give us some time decay on it, maybe a near term at the money, maybe erroring to the side of out of the money put. And we could also protect ourselves if we're going to go against our initial covering position. We could buy a protective option, an out of the money option that'll profit both on the retracement, but also It'll protect us should we then go against our initial position.